It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got high-flying offenses set to take off. It's the Ravens and the Titans, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
He's got it complete. Derrick Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. A first down carry for Henry to about the 48-yard line. The Ravens in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense last week, they certainly have things humming, because if you can run up 40-plus points a game, you certainly take a lot of pressure off of your defense, and you're not going to lose very often.
A nice little juke, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Play action now. Levis. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. This defense for the Titans, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a first down. Out of the gun again to Spears. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Talanoa Hufanga, a first-time All-Pro last year, up to make the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. Running left, it's Henry. There's the stiff arm. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, I think Josh Norman can sympathize. He knows a little something about a run like this from Derrick Henry. I mean, that stiff arm might be the best in the business.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We'll see that Josh Norman play forever and ever, won't we? Because at Derrick Henry's size, 6'3", nearly 250, you know he's not shying away from contact. And here he just kept the defender at arm's length as he barreled his way into the end zone. I mean, just put that arm into the chest. And there he goes.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. They're brought out by a fifth-year pro coming off a career season as a passer and a runner. It's Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Throwing, Jones. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Here's Spears on second down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Back to throw, it's Levis. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll be out of bounds. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Baltimore! Tajay Spears, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Sitting at 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 20 carries, 89 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball of the season as they built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others haven't and finally put a stop to this streak?
Now Jones. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Down the left sideline.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one, and in this case, it's really vital.
And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Folk, and it's now 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Our score after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Now we're going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
2nd down and 8. Levis out of the shotgun now. This pass complete to Higgins. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
Simple drag route here. Lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Levis. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. Oh, good move. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
Levis now off of play action. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Handoff to Spears. Dances by him. And they'll get this down to the 10. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. In motion left goes a tight end. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. He'll buy some time right. And it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd and 10. And here's a give to Spears. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Levis out of the gun on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Will Levis, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking to throw. Jones. This is caught. It's Brown. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw again. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll set up the screen here to mid. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration. You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Levis now on 1st and 10.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Meanwhile, Levis's throw caught by Higgins.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
On first down, Levis. They'll set up the screen for Spears.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Levis to throw once more. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Second and 10. Here's Levis.
Escaping the pressure right. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
T. Higgins.
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, short throw, it's Higbee. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
First down from Higbee. And since so many forgot about him among the league's top tight ends, time to give him his due. He has improved so much across 7 NFL seasons, going from backup to true receiving threat. 72 catches last season. Expect more of the same this one.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Hardy. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit.
is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and they will remain well behind.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Inside handoff, Henry. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out and take pride in your work and try and put something together here in the second half.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They begin with Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On third down, here's Spears. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. 66 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So after some runs, now they'll throw with Levis. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Levis sets up to throw here. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans 16. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Folk, and it is 42-0. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Jones now on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the... And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
2nd down and a yard. Levis to throw off play action. And that'll be caught downfield by Chenault. And he's got this all the way down to the 35-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 50 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
You get down in this area of the field, you know you're going to get a heavy dose of number 22. They stopped him for a short gain there, but can they do it a couple of more times?
They'll give Henry another shot, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Folk connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Throwing, Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Jones to throw on third down.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
Well, I wish his staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the fourth, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Levis. His throw incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
So here's a 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. Oh, fighting off the defender to about the 40-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This offense on 3rd down today, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Cadence, lock in the cadence.
Now Jones. Short throw, it's Higbee. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. A nice burst there as he'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 of the 12. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Tennessee offense set to go again. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Half 18, half 18. Up.
Jones throwing on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, Parker, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry all alone. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Folk for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
152 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Henry again on second down.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
And the Titans getting set to go.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Well, first down run with Henry that time as he maneuvers forward for about 4 yards.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Second down and 6 now from the 26.
Draw play. This is Henry.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for Baltimore, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1.
criticize on me. I'm getting looked up, down with these big frowns. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really get drunk, but my goose up. I will not live an apology. I wish you lose love, but truly you suck. Gon' make ways for a prodigy.
Nobody do it better than me, not incredibly. I do this competitively, uneditably. These falling silent when I walk up in the building. Worry about their future like I'm here to snatch their children. That line was brilliant. How I'm not already in the millions? Am I not the picture of resilience? Why they test my patience? Hyping all the